Hey guys, welcome to Nerdarchy for Nerds by Nerds. I'm Ted, hanging out with some of my colleagues here.
I'm Nate.
I'm Dave.
And today we're going to bring you another unorthodox build or killer combo, if you will, the Gnome Cleric.
The Gnome Cleric. Yeah, someone requested this. I don't know who, but somebody asked us about this one, I think.
All right. So typically, with our killer combos, we try to give you stuff that can be fun to role play, but your race is not getting a bonus to the prime stat.
It's not fully optimized.
Right.
Yeah.
So
we have 3 sub races to choose from now. We have this Snurf Neblin.
Yep.
Also known as the Deep Gnome. We have the Rock Gnome, also known as the Tinker Gnome, essentially.
Or the Forest Gnome.
Or the Forest Gnome.
So, which is just known as the Forest Gnome.
Which is just known as the Forest Gnome, yes. So, so it does set up this interesting idea of, of themes, right? So Forest Gnome just screams nature priest.
Yeah.
You could either be a nature priest, or because you already get, minor illusion, you could, kind of do, like trickery.
Yeah, but
illusion.
Maybe more like on the benevolent side.
Or, like if you're, you have you worship like the god of illusions because you really like doing illusions.
Right. Well, yeah, there's that, but I also think like mischief of, like practical jokes and that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because they're gnomes. Like, I don't see, for the most part,
they're not evil gnomes.
Yeah, I don't see the darker aspects coming into play.
I could also see them taking some wizard levels and doing like, if they want to go full on the trickery thing.
Right.
But for the cleric, I think you get a good amount of the illusion type spells from the wizard side.
Right.
In your domain. So
now, like I would say, like if you were going to go with the Tinker, the Rock Gnome, like I guess the only domain that really works if you're going for like a god of technology, a god of innovation, is probably the knowledge domain right now, until we get some more. And it feels thematic for them. They get Tinker tools as one of their abilities. Mm-hmm. They get a bonus to con, which is good for everybody.
Yeah,
that's never an issue. Of the other ones, I mean, I feel most strongly for that one, or even like more like an elemental type god. But again, we don't have as many choices yet.
Right.
Right now, if you're going elements, you have fire, and you pretty much have, like air for the time being through the Tempest domain. So, neither of those really work particularly good. So I think like knowledge is the most thematic. And then you have the Snurf Neblin, the Deep Gnome, another good candidate for trickery.
Right.
And deception because of the way they have to live,
right?
Because they live in such a dangerous environment. They already are naturally stealthy, and get advantage on their stuff checks. And when it comes to stonework,
right?
Depending on how you interpret that as the DM, that could be a lot of different places. That could be a stone wall, or it could be a rocky cavern,
right?
Or your DM might go, no, it's only natural. Not natural stonework, yeah. Right. I mean, which I guess it wouldn't be stonework.
Natural unworked stone.
Yeah. So I could see them for trickery. Maybe war.
Maybe.
Of the different gnomes, I think they would be the most war.
Yeah.
They would be the most likely to have a war priest.
But I mean, they could also do life. If you wanted to go with the, all right, well, I'm the cleric's cleric that's traveling with a war party, and it's my job to keep them all together.
Well, I guess life works too from the standpoint of like for all of them really, thematically, for when you're talking racially, is you're like the pillar of the community. You're marrying people, you're doing last rites. Of the clerics, I think the life domain is really about that.
Yeah, the life domain is the ye old basic cleric.
Yeah,
you're the healer.
So we got to pick one domain and one sub race.
All right. So I think we're gonna go with gonna go with the was it the Rock Gnome and knowledge, or do you want to go with the Forest Gnome and was it animal or
nature?
Nature. Yeah.
I want to go with the Forest Gnome and nature.
All right. So there we go.
Okay, so we have a Forest Gnome.
So we're getting a +2 to intelligence and a +1 to Dex, which Dex is a lot of people say is the Uber stat.
It is. I mean, and you're only getting a +1, so you can only really take advantage of +2 when you're wearing medium armor,
right?
Which you can wear.
So you can put your
As a
13.
cleric, so.
You can put your 13 there. Make it up to a 14.
Yeah.
Although it is the nature domain, so you could wear a full plate.
This is true. We could be the clumsiest Forest Gnome and just go for the heavy armor.
Well, here's a consideration too, right? A mitigating factor in going suboptimal with actually I was having a conversation on Twitter with somebody about this, is with the life domain, like your bonus to healing kind of mitigates the fact that you're taking a hit or not having a good wisdom.
Yeah.
So like you could take the life domain and have a 14 wisdom and still do a decent amount of healing.
I would really say just stick the 15 in there and just wait till 4th level and either take a feat that's going to augment that by a 1 or just take the stat bump.
Well,
I had a cleric that didn't have a 16, and that's what I ended up going with. So,
well, even going that route though, I mean, still, like if you have the +2 and your 1st level spells, that's you're getting a +5 to the die,
right?
It's not too shabby. You can't heal less than 6 points of damage with your cure spell. And with the suboptimal stat, right? So you put your high in there, put the 15, and then depending on which race you're going to go with. I feel like we should build the Rock Gnome or the Snarf Neblin. Or no, the Snarf Neblin is Dex as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
I feel like we should build the Rock Gnome. Because, again, like we're trying to build the most unorthodox, optimized character we can, right? Isn't that what we generally do here?
Yeah, usually.
So, like, if you go with Life Domain.
So, Rock Gnome Life Domain.
I would actually put the 14 in wisdom and not the 15, or not the 15, because the modifier is the same.
So you put the 14 in wisdom, you put the 15 in con, bump it up to a 16.
At 4th level, you can always just do 2 points
in the wisdom, yeah.
If you wanted to go that route. And then
so we have that +2 to intelligence.
Dump it.
Totally dump it, make it
a 10, and you're like average intelligence.
All right, so now you got all right.
Not the smartest gnome, but you're even for the humans.
I mean, your next lowest. So now you need.
So we have a 10, a 12, and a 13 to play with.
10, a 12, and a 13.
Are we?
Dump Dex next.
So Dex gets the 10 because we're going to go with the heavy armor.
Yes.
Well, so then now the highest one that you've got left has to go with strength.
Strength, so you can wear that
stuff.
Okay.
So that's what, a 13?
So your 13 goes strength, your 12 goes to charisma. I mean, both of them wind up being a +1. But you're somewhat pumpty, somewhat talky.
I like that kind of build because it really makes like an even character. And if I can't build a super optimized character, I like having that character that just has all pluses and no minuses. There might be a +0, but it's still not a minus. And we put the 13 in strength, so that gives us the first 2 tiers of heavy armor. So that's chain mail. And depending on like how you see this character being, like you can pretty much go with that 14 wisdom. If you're the combat medic, you can leave it at a 14 wisdom and not take it any higher, and start building up your strength in order to increase your armor class.
That's only 4th level, but you can by 4th level you can get that 2 bumps, or maybe you just find yourself some calls of overpower.
Well, there's always that, and hope no one ever takes them off of you. Like, oh my god, I can't move.
Well, you can move. You just
you take a lot of penalties.
Just your speed gets reduced.
Yeah, but so it's like you said, like at 4th level, if you bump your strength up, then you have access to all the armor.
But you wind up being able to start with chainmail because you're proficient.
So in my opinion, it's still a pretty effective character. I mean,
You use a shield, so
yeah,
you can have a decent armor class.
At first level, you're only going to get a +3 to hit. Not awesome, but you're gonna have a good armor class because you're gonna have chainmail, which is what
just sure.
Yeah, I know. I was just looking at it. A chainmail is a 16, a shield,
and you get a shield, so that's an 18.
18 armor class. And if your primary goal is just to kind of be up there and supporting the warriors, you're there with the heals, which again, you're not doing too bad with that, and you're not hitting as great as you can, but hey, come 4th level, you're moving right up.
Yep.
You figure an optimized character in this edition is still only a +3, so you're down. You're only down by 2,
right?
And you're not the primary fighter,
right?
So
you're there to do some extra damage and put the people back together who need it.
But then you're also right. So you're also a rock gnome. So you have access to tinker tools, which I always want to say tinker toys because that's essentially what you end up making. So you can make a kind of interesting character because maybe he's got this hobby. Like what if he uses that stuff like when he goes into villages to befriend all the children and play with the children and amuses them,
right?
And he's like a really really kind of likable and sociable. I mean, his charisma is a positive modifier.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
He's average intelligence. You could with this one, for a background, you could go guild artisan if you wanted to make him really kind of more rounded.
And the tinker ability lets you make a music box.
So we can make a music box.
That's like a saleable item as a guild then, unless he wanted to pick up another profession.
A music box or a clockwork toy. So he can totally be making stuff for the kids to play with.
Yeah, and then but I'm thinking for the background, I'm almost seeing almost he's this combat medic in the field type character, but outside of it, he could definitely be this pillar of the community kind of person. That's kind of happy-go-lucky, jovial.
Yeah, so you think he would be enough that he would take some kind of social skill that the cleric gets, or?
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Where do you go?
I don't even think he would need to worry about it because I would see him taking more medicine and religion, as being that center of knowledge than it would be about actually trying to persuade people. He just is.
Right. Well, there's that. But then do you really need religion? Depending on what kind of personality you have. That can go either way.
Yeah.
I can go either way on that one. And for backgrounds, I'm okay, so guild artisan, possibly
acolyte,
acolyte
is always a good one. Sage is always a good one.
Sage, noble. But I think if we're going with life domain, I don't see the sage as much.
True.
I definitely see acolyte. I definitely see guild artisan if you want to go more with the calling type. I see noble as a good possibility. What are the ones that I'm looking at? I mean, if you're going straight up, this guy is a combat medic, you could go soldier easily. You could really go in many different directions. He's a gnome, so he could have started off as an entertainer.
Yeah,
that fits into the he entertains the kids,
right?
People come from all places.
Well, yeah, and then it also goes on with where you called for this, but so at the same time that we kind of have him up there being the mini tank, the pseudo tank, in addition to being the healer,
right?
So do we build around that and his nature with the children and using his tinker tools to interact where he goes? Is that just another side aspect, or is it a core aspect? So our core aspect is mechanically he's been built for war, right? And to support the warriors.
So I think acolyte or soldier is gonna fit that core mechanic the best.
I like that too. What do you think, Nate?
I've in 5th edition. I've just really been trying to do something else besides combat. So pretty much as soon as I said, "Oh, he makes Tinker Toys," well, he could have like a whole puppet show thing as like what he really does when he's not out fighting. And I think so. Like I would pick the entertainer in this guy, even though he's not. I'm not shoehorning him into the soldier's lives for me. So that's my pick. I like merchants. I like guild artisans. That's pretty much all I've been building lately. So,
well, I feel that it's interesting. Sometimes really that's what you do. Like that's what your guy is. He's a soldier. Like I do like doing the diverse backgrounds. I mean, I did a wizard with a soldier background.
Right. Yeah,
but
you went the other way with your class, kind of being a different aspect than what you chose for that.
Let's go ahead with Acolyte.
Okay, I was going to say soldier.
No. Well,
Acolyte's more the religious part. So is he more like the religious part, or is he more like I think, I'm in the army? I learned these skills.
If you're looking to have this guy as like a figurehead and a person of power, I think Acolyte fits better than the soldier.
It centralizes him more in town,
right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that's kind of like the bridge between like the two extremes. I'm off playing with the kids while my buddies are carousing. So the Acolyte is like the center of that. The combat mechanics and capabilities of the cleric and how we built the stats. So it's like the fulcrum, I guess.
So there we go. So we've got a rock gnome, acolyte, cleric of life,
and as acolyte you get religion, so you can take persuasion now.
Totally,
if you wanted to.
Yes.
or perform.
Yeah.
So he really could still do the puppet show.
Yeah.
Even though
maybe he teaches religious texts through performance, and that's like his thing with the kids.
And a perform actually works well for someone who orates anyway.
Yes.
So that could also be it. And like maybe he's like the Sunday school teacher of the clerics. I don't know.
Yeah. So, all the parents are very happy when he shows up. Like, excellent. Distract these children.
So the question is, have we built a gnome? Gnome cleric.
I think we have.
We built the Sunday school teacher. We went from combat medic to Sunday school teacher, or somewhere in between.
He's still a combat medic. He's wearing chainmail, first level character with an 18 armor.
So my question is, right, when he's bringing the fighter back, does he hand him a lollipop, and does he do the sock puppet?
Maybe he does. I guess it all depends on who's playing. Where they want to go with that.
But then again, it doesn't matter what we think. It matters what you guys think. Did we effectively create a killer combo with the unorthodox build of the gnome cleric going with the rock gnome? Let us know in the comments below while you're at it. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff.
You can also check us out on nerdonarchy.com.
You can also join the conversation over on Reddit.
So until next time, stay nerdy.